In this video, we're going to be replacing the driver's side mirror on this 2008 Acura MDX. All right, so we're going to remove this panel here. There's a little clip on the top. I'm just going to use a pick tool to help us pull that panel forward. All right, so we have more screws hidden behind this trim panel here. We're going to use a soft plastic tool, just pop up right here. Once you get that worked up a little bit, we can pull back away from the panel. All right, we have these two screws right here we're going to remove. Next one's right here. And the next one will be right here. All right, so our vehicle doesn't have any more screws or anything else around the exterior. So what we're going to do now is follow the bottom of the door around to the speaker area. You'll find a little opening that you can get your hand and your fingers behind. Once we find that, we're going to put one knee against the bottom of the door, one hand in here, and we're going to pull away from the door while pushing the door with our knee. That'll allow us to pop the panel free. At this point, looks like everything's free up until the top. So now we can move on to taking the door panel off completely to get to our electronics and handle mechanisms. So from here, you would just want to push the door panel straight up and pull it backwards slightly. All right, so if we follow our mirror harness, you can see our plug here. We're going to push and disconnect our harness here. Now at this point, you can let your door panel rest. You want to take notice of where your clips are in relation to your speaker. If I let this go, it'll poke a hole in the speaker. So we just want to orient that to a point where it's not going to poke a hole into our speaker. All right, so we need to remove this trim here, and it's held in by two clips, one on each side. All right, so we're going to use our clip tool. Same thing on the other side. Now this trim panel is what we're looking to remove. We're just going to pull it away and out from underneath the gasket. And we can set that aside. So we have 1, 2, 3 nuts holding your mirror in place, along with one push clip here. We're going to remove these first two, and then we'll get to the third one, which is going to be behind your gasket here. They're going to be 10 millimeter. Now to get to your third one, it's in behind the gasket. What I'm going to do here is take it off of this clip. We're going to pull the gasket down and off the bottom of the clip, pull it up off the top of the clip. And what that'll do is give us plenty of room to get to that third nut. So we're going to get on it, and we're going to hold the mirror with one hand, take that nut off. Now with two hands, we can work our mirror out. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is guide our electrical plug through. Make sure your gasket is in place, and then we can put our studs in place. What I like to do here is squeeze it in nice and tight and then double check that your gasket is exactly where it needs to be. Looks good. And we can thread on our 2 nuts that we can see here. And that'll hold our mirror in place. We can go to the inside here and thread on our third. Okay. And with our 10mm socket, we'll tighten these down. With those tightened down, everything looks good. We can put our gasket back in place. This hole here is going to go over this clip. We're going to pull that hole and push to clip the bottom. And then we'll pull it up and onto the top. All right, so at this point, before you reassemble everything, go ahead and plug your mirror in, turn your ignition on, and test the functions of your mirror. Make sure everything works and moves freely, all the way in, all the way out. If everything looks good, we can go ahead and shut our ignition off, unplug our mirror connection again. So at this point, we can put our trim piece back around our window. What we're going to do is start in this corner. And we're going to slide this up into our gasket and then work our way forward, making sure the trim piece goes up under the gasket. With one hand here, I'm going to take our mirror cable, tuck it down. At this point, we can put our retaining clip back in. It's okay if it pops out while you're working. Just go ahead and put it back into place. And then our last retaining clip here. All right, so now we can plug in our mirror. All right, so now we can hang our door panel. I like to get the top lined up, press straight down. And now, just work around the panel, exterior, and give it a little tug. Everything seems locked in. Now we can reinstall our screws, put our trim pieces back on. All right, so we can start with this screw here. Next one up. And our top two. Now we can install our trim cover here. There are two little clips at the bottom. It'll go in like that. Now we can install this piece here. We're going to line up our clips on the bottom. I'm going to give this one a little tap in and do the same all the way around.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.